Batman. I have terminal diarrhea, Batman. Okay, so update on the ongoing battle of trying to get my camera to just work properly. I've tried everything. I've turned off autofocus, I turned off video stabilization, I put it in pro mode, I messed with like every single setting that I could think of, but the background will not stop doing that thing to where like if I move in a way it doesn't like, it kind of just like has an aneurysm for a second. It's like the background just goes like, ah! And then it's back to normal. But portrait video is the one setting on my phone where it seems like it's not actually doing it that bad. It's still doing it, it's just you can't really tell that it's doing it because the background's just automatically blurred out. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here. I'm working with what I got. You know, we're all just dogs in God's hot car, so there's only so much I can do. I am working on getting a real camera. I've been checking out some of them Sony cameras, and they get me a little bricked up. So yeah, hopefully we won't have to deal with this kerfuffle for too much longer. But any hooser, what is up, Thotty Pants? DenDenBMX here. And you know what we haven't done on the channel here in quite a hot minute? We haven't made a video about Epiphone guitars in quite a long time. I believe the last guitar video I made that was about Epiphone guitars was when I refinished my Epiphone Les Paul Custom, and that was already like over a year ago. And I mean, Epiphone's been up to some pretty quirky stuff. They released that Dave Grohl ES335, they got the Adam Jones Silver Burst out, they got the Epiphone Greenie, and the latter two now come with the Gibson Open Book headstock. You know what? Let's actually check them out. And you know, I gotta say, it's really cool that they finally gave us that. I hope there's not any weird caveat. Jesus Christ. Why is an Epiphone $1,500? Okay, you know what? I actually don't want to talk about new Epiphones anymore. Instead, let's talk about some older Epiphones. If you remember way back in 2020, I believe it was, one of the first fully dedicated guitar videos I had ever made was on a 2014 Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro. Maybe you'll remember that I made a handful of videos about that guitar, but then it kind of disappeared off the face of the channel. And that's because I sold it in 2021 to my friend Jager. And that has been his guitar for the last 3 years. But during those last 3 years, he didn't really clean it or change the strings on it at all. I love Jager. Bless his heart, but he did let that guitar get a little grimy. And I find myself at Jager's house every now and then, and every time I am there, I always make sure I play the guitar a little bit because I miss it. It was a really great guitar. I don't know if you remember, but the pickups that came on that Custom Pro were something else, man. Pro Buckers are kind of infamous for being really muddy, but these Pro Buckers that came on this Custom Pro, they were snappy and responsive, and I loved the way they sounded. But over the last 3 years, I would notice that the guitar got a little bit stickier, a little bit grimier, a little bit more in a state of disrepair every time I went over to his house, and I finally had enough, and I told him that I'm taking it and I'm cleaning it for him and putting new strings on it. And here's the guitar right here. This Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro was made in 2014, so it is celebrating its 10th birthday this year. Now the reason I sold this guitar to Jager is because of one thing. In early 2021, I believe, I ended up getting this Epiphone Les Paul Custom. And this is the newer version that comes with the Kalamazoo headstock and comes with the full-size diamond inlay. And this full-size diamond inlay is a pivotal part to a Les Paul Custom in my mind. And originally it was Alpine white, just like the other one, but I really wanted this one to have that aged white Les Paul Custom look, so I refinished it. But this is really all you're gonna see of this guitar in today's video. We are gonna be talking about this guitar a lot more and playing it in the next guitar video that I make, because in that video we're gonna compare the newer Epiphone Les Paul Custom to the older Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro. In today's video, we're gonna be spending our time catching up with this pretty lady and seeing if it's still as amazing as I remember it being. Now I am filming this video a little bit out of order. As you can see, this guitar is squeaky clean, nice and shiny, and that's because last night I stayed up until like 3 a.m. giving this guitar a really deep clean, giving her a little spa treatment, trying to bring her back to life, getting all that dirt and grime and sweat and dead skin off of her. And it was quite the journey. And I documented the whole thing because I do want to make a nice little satisfying YouTube short out of it. So we're going to talk about the little spa treatment I gave this guitar here in a second, right after I say that, as always, thank you guys so much for all the recent love and support you've shown me on all my videos. It truly does mean a lot. If you guys go on to enjoy this video, as always, definitely let me know and help the engagement on this video by leaving a like, leave a comment, share the video around. And if you regularly watch my videos and you haven't already subscribed, thanks, nutsack breath. We are on the road to 20,000 subs if you want to, you know, actually help the channel you regularly watch. But I'm done being a tool for now. Let's check out just how dirty this guitar was.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
And that brings us to now. She's all squeaky clean again. She's looking and feeling brand new. I don't want to wait anymore. Let's just go play this thing already. So I would say this pretty lady is back to her former glory. I have been having a blast playing this guitar. That's one thing that I felt really fortunate that I've been able to do, is a lot of my older guitars that have been featured on this YouTube channel, I have since sold. But I've sold them to my close friends, so they're not like across the country or like in an entirely different state. And my friends are super duper cool and will let me borrow the guitars every now and then to kind of relive the glory days. And I'm not gonna lie, I've come to actually really enjoy this older Epiphone headstock. I like the Kalamazoo one too, and of course I like the open book headstock. I remember when the only Les Paul I had was an Epiphone Zakk Wylde Bullseye, and I absolutely hated that it had this headstock on it. But now every time I see this headstock, I just get a little nostalgic. The only thing that I really don't prefer on this older headstock now is just that it's skinnier, so they can't put the full-size diamond inlay in there. And I've never really liked the way the small diamond inlay looks. It's kind of like the one negative I have about these older Epiphone Les Paul Customs with that older headstock. Now, I would love to talk to you guys about the specs on this guitar, but I think we're going to save that for the next video when we compare it to the newer 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Custom. And then we can compare their specs and then compare their sounds. But for this video, I just wanted to clean this old girl up and see how she sounds through my plugins, because back then I wasn't using plugins. I had a real unga bunga way of filming my guitar videos back then. You see, I would get my camera set up and I would put my amplifier directly behind my camera. So it was almost like I had the amp mic'd up with my phone's microphone, and it sounded pretty deep fried. But now that I've got plugins and can record a proper guitar tone, I really wanted to see how this guitar sounds through that, and I ain't disappointed. I hope you guys enjoyed this little blast from the past with me, and I hope you guys will tune in to the next video where we compare this older Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro to my newer Epiphone Les Paul Custom. But to wrap up this video, I want to give a humongous shout out and a thank you to Cosmic Steez, A Horse Running, Jet, Solar Flare, Jan Chocolate, Bandage Knives, Sunil Verma, and our newest member, Rob Heath. These are my current channel members, and their support really does mean a lot. If you want to join these guys, get a shout out in my longer videos, get access to my members only videos, most of which are guitar videos, and just help support the channel in a bigger way, then you can go down there, click the join button. Tiers start as low as $3. But if you don't want to join a membership and you still want to support the channel in that way, just as like a one-time thing, there's also the super thanks button down there. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you did enjoy, let me know. Help out the video by leaving a like, leave a comment, share the video around. Make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 20K. And I'm done being a tool. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.